In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that was made.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, friends, countrymen, internetonians, lend me your ear. I am your host, Jake Johnson, and this is Untethered Live, the deep end. Join me, won't you, as we go off of it together into the vast world of the unknown and the misunderstood and the poorly quoted. Yes, that's what we're here to do today, to untether, to unfray the knot of misunderstanding and bring a little focus into the world. A little bit of focus. It's attached. What's attached? Hey, Caucasian, how are you? I had a good time on your show last night. Thank you for inviting me. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I hope your listeners did too. What's attached? Your ear? Ah, lend me your ear. Well, just loan it to me. Just lean it in my direction. That's all I'm asking. George Ward was in the chat. I don't know if he dipped out or not, but if he's still here, I hope he is. Lovely to see you either way. Thanks for showing a little love, even if you don't pay attention. Can't blame you for that. Anyway, it's here if you want it. I offer it freely. It was great, 133 views. Excellent. Well, that's something, right? I had a good time. I hope we can do it again soon. Until then, how's the weather where you are? It's been raining freezing cold rain here all day long. Just a steady drizzle. Not hard rain, just all day. Wet, cold, icy. It was supposed to snow today, but when I woke up and heard the raindrops, I was like, nope, that's not happening. It's too wet. Too much water to snow. Oddly enough. Fucking cold and icky. That's how it is here. Cold and icky and wet. And puddles outside. It's been raining cats and dogs all day. I went outside to go to the store and I stepped in a poodle. Oh, it's a lovely day, though, other than that. I slept in this morning. I had 2 meetings I had to go to today, and one by one they canceled. So I was like, yep, I don't have to do that. I'll stay in bed. An hour later, yep, I don't have to do that. I'll stay in bed a little longer. But I had to do the podcast. That's one I don't cancel. Come heck or high water. Or hell. Don't know why I said heck. Just came out that way. Weird. I'm censoring myself now. Can't be doing that. Deleted. Hang on a second. Let me open the door. It gets warm in here fast. Be right back. Too much like wintertime. I'm excited to round out the book of Psalms today. I think we might finish it. We're 44 chapters in. I don't know how long it is. Pretty long book. Maybe excited if we can get to the end of it. We draw ever closer to the end of the whole book. It's hard to believe we've been through so many books so far. This is episode 315. Just of this particular version of the podcast. It's amazing. Seems like I started just yesterday. But every week we get a little closer. That ending is coming. And then we get to start all over again and go through it. But this time, I'm going to skip all of the stuff that is unimportant, and I'm going to drill down into those deep, dark, secret things that have more than one meaning. We're going to get to the bottom of some stuff. We're going to start breaking out the Strong's Concordance and deciphering words and the meanings thereof, and talking about Hebrewisms and numerologies and things like that. You know, the Bible codes and all of that stuff. They are there. I've seen them. What that has significance of, I don't know, but they are there. It is a strange document. I'm just shooting the breeze until the rest of the folks get here, and we'll see what happens. We got a few already. Hello, you few, you weary few. I'm happy to have you. Maybe you joined us on Caucasian Sasquatch's channel last night. I was a guest, and we had a good time. We talked about all kinds of things. Had some very poignant discussions. We solved a few mysteries. We grew some mustaches. We drank some alcohol. We played some music. We got naked. It was wonderful. If you missed it, you missed a good time. Today is Sunday, the 16th of January. That is 16 days into the new year. We're a whole year ahead from where we were last year. It's hard to believe. Can't wait for 2 more years to pass. That way we can have another fighting chance at some semblance of normalcy and, logic. We'll see. Oh, I saw a few fresh faces last night, and I saw a few faces that I recognized, and I was glad that you came out. As always, my April was there cheering me on. She'll be here momentarily, surely. Caucasian, you saved me some of them shrimp. I don't even eat shellfish, but sounds like a good thing to say. I don't eat shellfish for 2 reasons. Number 1, they're scavengers, and I don't eat scavengers for the most part. And for 2, I don't believe in gout. And shellfish is the number 1 cause of gout. Shellfish and beer. And pork. But you, for some reason, can't tell anybody that has gout and make it make sense to them. If they would just leave those things alone, the gout would go away. More for me. That's right. I don't have nothing against you eating it. I just don't want any of it. Occasionally, I'll eat a popcorn shrimp. I don't like them boiled, but I do try to stay away from that sort of thing. I'll eat fish, but I don't do shellfish. And I didn't do pork for a long time, but I have a weakness for pulled pork. It's a problem. But for 12 years, 13 years, I didn't eat any pork at all. And my skin was terrific. And my heart was sound. And I don't eat a lot of it now. I don't eat pork every day or anything like that. Or every other day, or even every week. But occasionally I'll get me a pulled pork sandwich, and it's just delicious. Up here they put vinegar in it, and it's really good. It's an acquired taste. It's something you're not used to it. You're not going to like it. But the more you have it, it'll grow on you. And then pretty soon you can't eat it any other way. I wouldn't dream of putting barbecue sauce on pork now. And I came from a place where barbecue meant you put barbecue sauce on it. That's what barbecue is. That is not what it means here. There's like maybe 4 or 5 places in the U.S. that specialize in their own brand of pulled pork. Tennessee, Texas, North Carolina, Chicago, that sort of thing. And this place, it does it a particular way, unlike anywhere else. I don't know of anybody else that puts vinegar on it, but they do here, and it's delicious. It's not just vinegar, though. There's spices in it, too, but I don't know what all they put in it, but it's good, whatever it is. It has a little bite. And when you smell it, as soon as you smell it, your mouth starts watering. Or mine does, anyway. And I got to have some. And I try not to gorge myself on it, but it's, it's one of those things you got to have. It's like a moist hot chocolate chip cookie. You just can't pass it up. I'm not a food person. In other words, there are people that eat because they thoroughly enjoy it. They're like connoisseurs of flavor. I eat as a matter of utility. If I'm hungry, I eat. That's it. I don't enjoy eating, but I enjoy pork. That's a problem. I've met people, though, that they pure moan when they're chewing. Oh, Jesus, man. You want a room with that steak? God. Come on, brother. I'm trying to eat here. You're making me sick. Or slightly horny. But, to each his own. I can think of a few things that make me feel that way, but food ain't one of them. What say you, Sasquatch? Are you one of those foodies? Do you enjoy eating? Will you gorge yourself just because it's there? Or are you like me and you only eat when you get hungry? And you only eat enough to satisfy your hunger? That's probably why I've remained this girlish figure deep into my 40s. I'll admit it, I get a little round in the belly. You eat if you're hungry, yep. I'm the same way. I may not even eat every day, Sometimes I go 2 or 3 days without eating. It just depends on my metabolism. Sometimes I'm full, I'm fine. Sometimes I forget to eat. And if I forget, then it ain't no problem because I don't remember, But then when I get hungry, I get that hangry, I get panicky when I start shaking, I guess my sugar drops or whatever. And I got to eat something right then. And nothing looks good. And everything looks good. And I can't make up my mind. I'm just put food in my mouth. I don't care what it is. Don't make me choose. I know I'm a strange bird. Now, drinking, on the other hand, is a different story. I have to have something to drink all the time. I think that's because I talk a lot. But it could have implications for worse problems. I might be borderline diabetic. I don't know. But I do drink a lot. This belly that I got is 100% Mountain Dew. It ain't got nothing to do with food. April, where are you? It's 8:15, honey. Don't make me send you a text. You have been texted it. How am I supposed to run a show without a mod? I've only got one mod here. I need two. Because one mod's cooking and ain't paying attention. We'll go probably 4 more minutes and then we'll get going. Whoa, we got a lot of people here tonight. Maybe it'll pick up. I think we burned them out last night, Caucasian. I think we did close to 3.5 hours last night, didn't we? It's pretty long podcast. I guess when we get on a roll, we don't stop, huh? I did have to dip out at about midnight or 11:30, something like that. I forget what time it was, but I had things to do this morning, so I had to get some sleep. Now we're starting to nod off at the camera, so I was like, well, it's time to go. But you looked like you were having fun, so I didn't want to stop that. You traveling vast herds of one. Well, it's been up to 4 and down to 1, so, people pop in, pop out. I'm not entirely sure that the analytics are correct. I have had it read 0 before while I was talking to somebody on chat, so I don't know. I don't know if to trust it or not, but it says that you and me were it. Nope, now there's 2. So did you get any feedback from last night? Anything of interest that I would like to hear about? Did I talk your boy into becoming an artist for podcasters? I thought I presented a good argument. Although I think he thought I meant me. I wasn't talking about me, I was talking about him. He seems like a good kid. Pretty talented, too. And I think he could make a good secondary living doing that. Just helping podcasters put up thumbnails and backgrounds and banners and headers and things like that. General podcast art. And he could probably charge whatever he wanted to. There's a few guys I know of that are in that business. And they're the guy, like, there's a guy on the East Coast that does it for specific podcasts. I can think of probably 10 that use him. And you can recognize them when you scroll through. If you listen to the same people I listen to, you can see them on their thumbnails. There's one guy that does the eyeballs, the crazy eyeballs, like on Screen Rants. Or that guy that does the funny movie reviews where it's him and himself talking back and forth. I can't think of the name of his channel. He uses that guy. Nerdrotic has used that guy. And all their there's pictures of people on their thumbnails, but they got big, like, googly eyes. And then there's other guys that do that sort of thing, like cartoon caricatures of the people. So there's not very many people doing it, but it's a business that will eventually, the more people get into podcasts, the more people are going to need guys like that. It's a good entry-level business to start that could eventually make a lot of money. And if I was artistically inclined, I'd be doing it. But unfortunately, I'm just creative enough to keep myself going. And I ain't real good at that. You notice my thumbnails all are the same. I picked the image and stuck with it. Ideally, I would get more clicks if I put up a different thumbnail every podcast, but that'd be exhausting. And I don't know that I have time to do that. It'd be nice if I did, but I don't. Because I do have other things I have to accomplish. Plus, I do all this by myself, and most guys that are in my position have a team. Most of them, not all of them. I know I was surprised to learn how many people work for Tim Pool. He's got like 31 head right now working for him. Or 35, I can't remember which. It's in the 30s, though. Nerdrotic has a team. Even, well, he's called Salty Trekker now, but he used to be called the Anti-Trekker. And he was good, but he kind of petered out. I think his health failed on him, so he's kind of falling behind. But for a little while there, he was doing real good. He was interviewing famous people and stuff. Like cast members of Star Trek and things like that. But he has a team. And I kind of got a team. I got you and April. That's a team. Y'all keep the bots away. It's like two Advil keep the bots away. There she is. The party can start now officially. April's here. Hey, darling, how are you? I was beginning to get worried. I thought you were going to bail on me tonight. Sorry, I'm late. I was cooking dinner. Well, now you know it. Never mind. Cook your dinner. Enjoy. How did you like the show last night, April? Did you have fun? I'm Tylenol. Yeah. It's better than Advil. You get to see a side of me you don't normally see when I'm with Sasquatch, don't you? Just finished it. Spaghetti. Ooh, I'd love to have some spaghetti. You know what I had for dinner? A McDouble. I know, it's lame, but I'm a bachelor. What can I say? That's how I eat. You loved it? That's great. I was hoping it was entertaining. I tried to be funny. Hello, Sasquatch, says April. I bring out the worst. Well, I can't deny that. So you say we should go on the road, huh? Take our show on the road. Me and Sasquatch, we're like Brooks and Dunn. Better as a team. Great individually, but better as a team. She said, last night nothing was stopping you, Sasquatch. I think he was feeling the spirit last night. Well, that's what we're supposed to do, ain't we? Supposed to make it a good show. Wouldn't be worth watching if it wasn't fun. All right. Well, it is 8:25. I say we get going. Let's see what we have in store for today. If you got your Bibles handy, crack them open to Psalms chapter 44, verse 10. That's where we left off. That's where we're picking up. All right. Caucasian says, thank ye. He was so super funny it didn't hold back. I dig it, loving every minute. Well, ain't nothing to hold back from. That's just who we are, wild and crazy guys. And a stink bug on my computer. That's not good. Where are those things coming from? That's the second one I've killed today. Must be coming from my air conditioner. Here we go. Thou markest us to turn back from the enemy. They which hate us spoil for themselves. Basically, they take from us for their own benefit. Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and hast scattered us among the heathen. Thou sellest thy people for nothing, or for naught, and dost not increase thy wealth by their price. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. That's not good. But is it he that's making it that way? Or is it you? Sometimes you're responsible for your own flaws. My confusion is continually before me, and the shame of my face hath covered me. For the voice of him that reproacheth and blasphemeth, by reason of the enemy and the avenger. All this is come upon us. Yet have we not forgotten thee, neither have we dealt falsely in thy covenant. Our heart is not turned back, neither have our steps declined from thy way. Though thou hast sore broken us in the place of dragons, and covered us with the shadow of death. Did he, though? I don't know where 420 is. Maybe he'll pop in sooner or later. If we have forgotten the name of our God, or stretched out our hands to a strange God, shall not God search this out? For he knoweth the secrets of the heart. Yea, for thy sake are we killed all the day long, are we counted as sheep for the slaughter. Awake! Why sleepest thou, O Lord? Arise, cast us not off forever. I think you might be talking out of your butt, David. I think you might be getting a little haughty, a little big for your britches. I don't think you should talk to God that way. Yeah, they might be running behind, or they might have stayed up too late last night. You never know. They were there. Wherefore hidest thou face? Hidest thou thy face, and forgotten our affliction and our oppression? I don't think God forgot. I think he's just mad at you. For our soul is bowed down to the dust. Our belly cleaveth unto the earth. Arise for our help and redeem us for thy mercy's sake. My heart is inditing a good matter. I speak of the things which I have made touching the king. My tongue is a pen of a ready writer. Thou art fairer than the children of men. Grace is poured into thy lips. Therefore God hath blessed thee forever. Gird thy sword upon thy thigh, O most mighty, with thy glory and thy majesty. I'm sure that when The time has come when you need him. He will arise and he will defend you. Until then, he's trying to teach you a lesson, I would imagine. Maybe don't be so demanding of God. How about that? Maybe try to solve your own problems for once in a while. Try asking God for the things you cannot control and handling the things you can without bothering him. You think he might be busy? You think there might be billions of people crying out to God on a daily basis, on a minute by minute basis? Is your problem worthy of his time? Can you not solve it? Can you not work it out? Think about it. God's not a genie. He doesn't exist just to pop into existence and solve problems for you. He's everybody's God, whether they believe in him or not. Imagine all the people he helps that don't believe in him, that never call on his name. And here you are whining because your foot hurts or whatever it is, or because you're in bondage, or because you screwed up and wound up in jail. Do your time, you know. It's good to pray to God. It's good to talk to him without asking for anything. But he knows. He knows that we're in the mercy position. He knows that every problem that comes our way, we're going to ask him for help because he's God. And if anybody can solve it, he can, right? Doesn't mean he's going to, though. Some things are up to you. I mean, free will has a cost, and the cost is you get to make the decisions. You also get to suffer the consequences for those decisions. And in the majesty, ride prosperously. I can talk, I'm not having a stroke. Because of truth and meekness and righteousness. And thy right hand shall teach thee terrible things. Thine arrows are sharp in the heart of the king's enemies, whereby the people fall under thee. Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. The scepter of thy kingdom is a right scepter. Thou lovest righteousness and hatest wickedness. Therefore God, thy God, hath anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. All thy garments smell of myrrh and aloes and cassia, out of the ivory palaces, whereby they have made thee glad. King's daughters were among thy honorable women. Upon thy right hand did stand the queen in gold and Ophir. Hearken, O daughter, and consider, and incline thy ear. Listen to what I'm saying. Forget also thine own people and thy father's house. So shall the king greatly desire thy beauty, for he is thy Lord, and worship thou him. And the daughter of Tyre shall be there with a gift. Even the rich among the people shall entreat thy favor. Everybody's going to be clamoring for your attention, even the rich. The king's daughter is all glorious within. She's a hottie. Her clothing is of wrought gold. She shall be brought unto the king in a raiment of needlework. The virgins, her companions that follow her, shall be brought unto thee. With gladness and rejoicing they shall be brought. They shall enter into the king's palace. Ooh, boom, boom, boom. You know. Instead of thy fathers shall be thy children, whom thou mayest make princes in all the earth. I will make thy name to be remembered in all generations. Therefore shall the people praise thee forever and ever. God is our refuge and strength. There's that word again, Shabbat or Sabbath. He is the refuge. He is the place in which you can hide and rest in peace. A very present help in trouble. He is there when you need him. That's what they're saying there. Very present. When you need him, he's present. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea. We will not fear. That's what he's saying. Because we have God, we don't have to be afraid of anything else. God wants you to be afraid of exactly one person, him. Nothing else. You should fear not. Jesus' message, among many others, were fear not, nor be dismayed. Hey, there's a Diego. What's happening, brother? Good to see you. Glad you came out last night. I saw you. Though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah. Selah means pause, or wait a minute. Take a breath. Soak it in. Absorb what's being said. Hey, George, I'm glad to see you came back. There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. Jake, you are cool. Thank you, sir. You are too. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God shall help her, and that right early. That means that the river will not move from its position. It will stay right where it's at. God will keep it in its place. This is an allegory. It's talking more about society than it is a river. The heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. That's how powerful this God is. The Lord, now this is different than the Lord that was mentioned earlier. This is all capital letters. This is Yahweh God himself, the creator. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge, Selah. There's that word again, Shabbat. That's rest or refuge or a place of peace. Like that scripture that says, I would have gathered you under my wings like a hen does her chicks, but you would not. You would not listen. You would not obey. You would not follow my commandments. I would protect you. I would be your God. I would cover you like a hen protects her babies, but you just would not pay attention. You would not take that refuge, that Shabbat, that Sabbath, which when Christ died became every single day, by the way. Come, behold the works of the Lord, what desolations he hath made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear asunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. This word is so important. Just be still and know that I am God. That's all he requires of you. Shut up. Stop trying to control everything. Humble yourself and listen. I'm God. I created all of this. You have nothing to fear or be dismayed over. I'm in control. Now, that being said, no, he's not. I know that's confusing. I know that bothers some people. Well, is he in control or isn't he? Does he have the whole world in his hands? No, not necessarily. Actually, this world belongs to Satan right now. It is the prince of the air that controls this universe, this world, this earth. It's God that owns it, but Satan is running it. Why is that? Well, because without darkness, light has no meaning. If you just shine light in the vacuum, it has no purpose. It has no value. The darkness gives it value. If there's no choice, it's not free will. You understand? Free will has a price. And that price is you make the decisions, but you pay the consequences for those decisions also. God gave you this ship. It is yours to sail. You can sail it across the 7 seas, or you can drive that sucker right into the rocks. Either way, God will let you do it. because you have free will. There are some that are ordained, predestined, if you will, and those people do not have free will because they have a purpose. They have a job to do. Those people are called messengers, or in layman's term, angels. Yes, Satan is the prince of the air. He's also the man of perdition. He's many things. None of them are good. But he is the yin to the yang. He is the balance of the light. He's the thing that gives light its purpose. That's why God created it. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted among the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Oh, clap your hands, all ye people. Shout unto God with the voice of trumpets, of triumph. For the Lord Most High is terrible. This word terrible is the same word that we use awesome. He is awesome, full of awe, terrible, terrific. He is a great king over all the earth. He shall subdue the people under us, and the nations under our feet. He shall choose our inheritance for us, the excellency of Jacob, whom he loved. Selah. God has gone up with a shout, the Lord with the sound of a trumpet. Sing praises to God. Sing praises. Sing praises unto our King. Sing praises. For God is the King of all the earth. Sing ye praises with understanding. What does that mean? Don't just say random nonsense. Understand what it is you're praising. Understand why you're doing it. Understand that it is your will, that you humble yourself on purpose to God, not because mommy said so, not because you grew up in a neighborhood where everybody went to the same church and you believe because everybody else believes. Seek out the information for yourself, firsthand knowledge. Know what you believe in. That's what I preach. I am reasonably sure of myself. The things that I have belief in, I believe them because I put them to the test. I went and I looked for it and I found it. Therefore, I believe it. I could be incorrect, but I am not lying to you. I'm telling you what I believe to be reasonably true. And there is a truth. I know that some people like to paint the world like it's a matter of gray areas, but there is a black and white. This is the truth, and that is false. And I'm trying to exist in the white. God reigneth over the heathen. God sitteth upon the throne of his holiness. The princes of the people are gathered together, even the people of God of Abraham. For the shields of the earth belong unto God. He is greatly exalted. Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised in the city of our God, in the mountains of his holiness. Beautiful for situation. The joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion. On the sides of the north, the city of the great king. God is known in her palaces for a refuge. There's that word again, Shabbat. It's almost like it's being drilled into your head. Refuge, 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 peace, peace, peace. Rest, rest, rest. For lo, the kings were assembled. They passed by together. They saw it, and so they marveled. They were troubled and hasted away. Fear took hold upon them there, and pain as of a woman in travail. These guys were doubled over like a woman giving birth. They were that scared when they saw the presence of Almighty God. Thou breakest the ships of Tarshish with an east wind. As we have heard, so have we seen in the city of the Lord of hosts. in the city of our God. God will establish it forever, Selah. We have thought of thy loving kindness, O God, in the midst of thy temple, according to thy name, O God. So is thy praise unto the ends of the earth. Thy right hand is full of righteousness. This right hand, that signifies the strength or the power or the control. That's an allegory meaning those things. That's why when the mark of the beast comes, it will either be in your forehead or in your right hand, meaning it will be the knowledge you consume or it'll be the work that you do. That's what the mark of the beast is. What's in your forehead? Your brain. What's in your right hand? Your power. In this case, the power is in God's right hand, and it is full of righteousness. Let Mount Zion rejoice. Let the daughters of Judah be glad because of thy judgments. Walk about Zion and go round about her. Tell the towers thereof. Mark ye well her bulwarks. Consider her palaces, that ye may tell it unto the generation following. That means spread the word to everybody, and especially the young ones coming up, because they don't know what we know. They don't have the infrastructure that we have. They don't have the experience. So it's your job as their elders or their teachers or their parents to guide them towards the truth, to show them what we have learned. At some point, life is no longer about you. It's about them. And that's when you have to switch and start doing things for them instead of for yourself. For this God is our God forever and ever. He will be our guide even unto death. Hear this, all you people. Give ear, all ye inhabitants of the world. Who's that? Listen, everyone in every continent, in every religion, in every culprit, in every cul-de-sac, in every village, all across the world. Hear this, ye people. Listen with your ears opened. Both low and high, rich and poor, together. What does the Bible teach? Is there segregation amongst the people? Is there a rich class and a poor class? No. Both low and high, rich and poor, together. This is a nation of one people. This is a world of one people. Yes, there's different kinds of this one people, but they're all people. When you eat a steak, do you care if it comes from a black cow or a brown, white, spotted one? You don't care if it's a good steak. My mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. That means, speak ye wisdom. Don't let foolish things come out of your lips. Meditate on what you know until you have understanding, until you can clearly see it. Break it apart. Look at all the angles. Argue it. Try to dissemble it. If you can't destroy an argument, it's a good argument, but you must try, because if it can be destroyed, it's not worth believing. If you can find one lie in this Bible, one out of all the texts, if you can find one thing that is a out and out lie, I will denounce my religion today and never look at this book again. In fact, I will go out preaching against it today with as much zeal as I preach for it, because I've already been through it, and I can tell you with 100% certainty, every word is true that can be proven. Obviously, there are things in the Bible that cannot be proven, but that's where faith comes in. You cannot find anything in this book that is inaccurate. Not one. I will incline my ear to a parable. I will open my dark saying upon the harp. 3 chords in the truth, man. That's what he's got. He's going to write a country song. 3 chords in the truth, baby. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil? What should I fear? God. That's what you should fear. Do not fear that man that can destroy your body. Fear that man that can destroy your soul. When the iniquity of my heels shall compass me about, when my past catches up to me, when the bad things I've done in the past come to haunt me. They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. I'll read that again so you can hear it, because I think this is important. They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. You cannot buy your way into heaven. You cannot rich yourself out of hell. You can't do it. You can't pay for salvation. That is the one true thing that money cannot buy. You cannot buy salvation. You must earn it. And there's only one way to earn it, and that is to repent and do what God said do. That's it. For the redemption of their souls is precious, and it ceaseth forever. That he should still live forever and not see corruption? For he seeth that wise men die. Likewise the fool and the brutish person perish, and leave their wealth to others. You see how that works? When you die, you cannot take it with you. Doesn't matter how much you have. Doesn't matter how rich you are. You are no different than a lowly pauper in the eyes of God. You are no different. You have no more status than that guy that's living on the streets. You are just as important and just as unimportant. Their inward thought is that their house shall continue forever. That's what they think. They think that they've set up a dynasty and it'll last forever. And their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Yes, they do. They even do that today. Nevertheless, man, being in honor, abideth not. He is like the beasts that perish. Makes no difference to God what you call your land. It ain't yours. It's his. And when he wants it, he'll take it back. This is their way. Their way is folly. Their way is folly. It's hard to read. Yet their posterity approves their sayings. Selah. Yeah. Any man that's ever thought he would last forever, named his land after his own name, put his big name in gold letters on the side of his buildings. Any man. How's that working for him after he dies? How long do you think it lasts? Look at Caesar. Caesar was the most wicked man that has ever lived. He killed more people. He did more ruthless things. He was evil to the bone. He was feared by everybody. He ruled the greatest nation in the world. 2,000 years later, his name's on a salad. That tell you anything? It don't last. It doesn't matter how rich you are. It doesn't matter what you achieve. What matters is if you're right with God when you pass. And you must be. Because if you're not, you'll only get one more chance, and that's judgment. If I were you, I'd err on the side of caution and solve it right now. Now, that's between you and God. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not the merchant of your soul. I'm just an educator. But I'm telling you from experience, you need to get it right. Whatever it is, whatever your relationship with God is, you need to fix it. Because if you don't and you end up dying, that's your last earthly chance to solve it. The only other chance you get is when you're standing before him being judged for what you've done. I have a very simple policy in life, and it has worked well for me. If you wish to use it, I give it to you freely, and here it is. I don't do or say anything that I would be ashamed of my mother to see. That's it. That's my philosophy in life. Anything I do, I would do right in front of my mom. If I'm ashamed for her to see it, I don't do it. If I'm ashamed of her to hear it, I don't say it. My mom is not God. She's just my mom. So if I please her, surely I can please God. My mom is no longer with us, unfortunately, to everyone's dismay. However, I still live that way. Like sheep, they are laid in the grave. Death shall feed on them, and the upright shall have dominion over them in the morning. Everything will be all right in the morning. And their beauty shall consume in their grave from their dwelling. Beauty only lasts until you're old. It is about respect. That word respect comes from the word reverence. Both words have the same root word. Reverence, to revere, comes from the word to fear. Who do you fear? God. If you respect God, you have a good life. The 10 Commandments are not hard to follow, and those are the only 10 rules that matter to you. I know lots of people like to get up in arms about the Old Testament and how many rules and regulations there are. 90% of those were for one group of people, the Jews. That is of the tribe of Judah. They are not for you. You are a heathen. Paul taught you a different thing, the teaching of the uncircumcised heart. All you have to do is follow the 10 Commandments. That's it. And Jesus boiled it down to even further. He said, everything in this Bible can be summed up in one sentence. I'm paraphrasing, but this is what he said. Love thy neighbor as you love yourself. That's it, period. If you truly love your neighbor, if you truly experience love for your neighbor, and that's whoever's beside you, you won't break any of the commandments because each one of them are designed to hurt your neighbor. Love God with all your heart, your soul, your mind, your body, and your spirit, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. If you do those two things, then you are good in the sight of God, period. You are among the righteous and the upright and the just. It doesn't matter what you believe. You never have to read the Bible to be a good man. Being good is not in this book. The instructions on how to be good is, but you can do that without knowing, because it's also written in your heart. You think this book is the only place where all these words are written? Ever wonder how you've never heard anything that came out of this book that is too surprising? There's a reason for that. It's because you already know it. All the stuff that matters is already written on your heart. When you are 3 years old and you get caught with your hand in a cookie jar, you know you have done something wrong, and that is before anyone has ever explained to you the concept of theft. You have no idea about stealing, but you know it's wrong instinctively. If you take a man's life, you will feel it for the rest of yours. You'll know it. You'll see his face every time you look in the mirror. You'll feel it on your soul like a stain because you know in your heart you've done wrong. So these words are written in 2 places, in your heart and in this book. But God will redeem my soul from the power of the grave, for he shall receive me. Selah. Yes, he will. When you die, your spirit instantly goes back to the Father who gave it. You're not a ghost. You're not running around here haunting people. You go back to the Father who gave it. You have no concept of time after your death. You will close your eyes in death and open your eyes in judgment. It'll be just like when you wake up in the morning. No matter how long you've been dead, you will have no concept of that time passing. Be not thou afraid when one is made rich, when the glory of his house is increased. Don't be scared. Don't be jealous. Don't think that, oh, that guy's making it, but I have no chance. Don't worry about what that guy's doing. For when he dieth, he shall carry nothing away. His glory shall not descend after him. You see, you have no fear of what you have in this world. Live within your means and live with what you've got. Do your best for sure. And if you have the capability of getting rich, by all means do so. There's no wrong in being rich. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil, not money. So if you're one of those people, and there are people that are born with more blessings than others, that's just the nature of reality. We are not all equal. But if you're one of those people, then by all means go for it. If you're not, don't worry about what that guy's doing. Don't worry about your life. When you die, you're both equal. That's when you're equal. Your spirit is equal. Your flesh is not. How do I know that? Because I will never be able to play for the NFL. I can't dunk a basketball. But there are guys that can do it with gusto. They're better than me in that realm. By the same token, they can't think like I do. So, tit for tat. Though while he lived, he has blessed his soul. And men will praise thee when thou dost well for thyself. Yeah. You have all kinds of friends when you got money. That's for sure. He shall go to the generation of his father. They shall never see light. Man that is in honor and understandeth not is like the beasts that perish. Doesn't matter how well you are received. If you have no understanding, you are not worth anything. What does that imply? It implies that understanding something is more valuable than owning it. Doesn't matter how rich you are. If you have no understanding, you have no value. Understanding is what gives you value. And in this podcast, we teach book, chapter, verse, explanation, understanding. It's like a magic trick. When you understand, it's no longer a mystery. The mighty God, even the Lord, hath spoken and called the earth from the rising of the sun unto the going down thereof. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God hath shined. Our God shall come and shall not keep silence. A fire shall devour before him, and it shall be very tempestuous round about him, like a storm going around him, like a hurricane. He shall call to the heavens from above and to the earth, that he may judge his people. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And the heavens shall declare his righteousness, for God is judge himself. Selah. That's correct. He is the final judgment of everything. Hear, O my people, and I will speak. O Israel, I will testify against thee. I am God, even thy God. That's what God says. I will not reprove thee for thy sacrifices or thy burnt offerings, or have been continually before me. To have been continually before me. That means that it don't matter how many burnt offerings or sacrifices you give, that's not what I'm judging you on. I'm judging you on what you've done, not what you've offered. So your burnt offerings and sacrifices mean very little to God. The only reason he indulged it in the first place is because it was man's idea. They thought it mattered, so he allowed it. I will take no bullock out of thy house, nor he goats out of thy folds. For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle upon thousands of hills. You understand? You can't offer God what's already his. That's what's never made any sense to me about sacrifice. It's already his. What are you doing offering it to him? Eat it. Enjoy it. Thank him for it. But don't offer it to him like it's his, like you're doing something. It's already his. He created it. I know all the fowls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell thee, for the world is mine and the fullness thereof. In other words, you're not going to be able to feed God if he were hungry. If he were hungry, he'd fix it himself. He don't need your help for that. So why would he tell you if he was hungry? Will I eat the flesh of bullocks or drink the blood of goats? The answer to that is no. Jake Johnson, I'm here, but I'm late. Good to see everyone. Nice to see you, 420. How are you? Here it is. This is why we came here, folks. Offer unto God thanksgiving, and pay thy vows unto the Most High. Did he say, give me 10 goats and a bull? Pour some blood on the ground and say some magic words? Nope. Offer unto God your thanksgiving. Be thankful for what you have. Be appreciative. Value what God has given you. And pay your vows unto the Most High. When you make a promise, you damn well better keep it. Because that means something. Your word is your gold, is your bond. It's the only thing that separates you from a complete moron. And call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. When you have trouble, call on God. He'll deliver you. And when he does, you get on your hands and knees and you glorify him for it. That's how it works. That's what he wants. He wants your thanks. He wants your love. He wants to have a relationship with you personally. That's what God needs. He doesn't need your money. He doesn't need your sacrifices. In both cases, when a church asks you for money or when a church offers a sacrifice, it's for the church. It is not for God. Obviously, we can't keep teaching if we don't make any money. We got to survive. We got to eat. That's why when you offer a burnt offering, the very next thing they do is eat the meat. The priests eat the meat. Why? Because it go to waste otherwise. It's the same thing you do when you say blessing over your dinner. It's the same ritual. It's just a little more pageantry involved when a sacrifice happens. But that's what they're doing. They're cooking dinner. That's it. And call upon me in the day of trouble, and I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. But unto the wicked God saith, unto the wicked, comma, God saith. There should be a comma there. What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? What do you have to do to declare my statutes? What do you have to do? You have to listen to God. You have to follow his rules, declare his statutes, take his covenant into your mouth, understand the meaning of the words of his promise, and live accordingly. I enjoyed the show last night. Caucasian Sasquatch made me laugh. Good show. Well, he had a pretty good guest, too, I think. Seems like I remember something like that. Thank you, and thank you for posting links. Spot on, 420. You were a pretty good guest, too. Seeing thou hatest instruction. Yeah, some of us don't like to be told what to do, that's for sure. And casteth my words behind thee, in one ear and right out the other. Seeing how it's that way. When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speaketh against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee, and set them in order before thine eyes. Now consider this, ye that forget God, ye that don't believe in him, don't understand the meaning of his words. I tear you in pieces, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver you. Consider this, those people that forget God, unless he tears you in pieces and nobody's there to save you. Whoso offereth praise glorifieth me, and to him that ordereth his conversation aright will I show the salvation of God. Those who listen to you when you praise me, those people I will show the salvation of God, the people who are paying attention. Have mercy upon me, O God, according to thy loving kindness, according unto the multitude of thy tender mercies. Blot out my transgressions. He's the only one that can. He's got the book. He keeps record of it all. He can erase those things when you ask for forgiveness. Wash me thoroughly from mine iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. What is that? What did I just read? That's called repentance. If you've ever wondered what that word means, that's what it means. You must acknowledge your transgressions, know you've done wrong, and ask for forgiveness. And your sins will disappear. But if you don't, they will be forever before you. The only person that can blot them out is God. But when he blots them out, he don't want to hear about it no more. He's forgotten about it, so should you. No more guilt. Let it go and move on. Against thee only, have I sinned, and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when thou judgest. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. I had no choice. I was lost before I was ever born. I was born right into this sin, and that's the way I was taught. Just like you. You had no choice in the matter. God knows that. He's not a fool. He created this world. He knows what's going on in it. And he also knows that you were born into sin, that you can't escape it no matter what you do. So all you have to do is ask for forgiveness. That's why Christ came here, to become a sacrifice that would cover everybody's sin forever. You've been bought and paid for. The ransom has already been paid. That means you have a place in heaven. All you got to do is claim it. How do you claim it? Repent, and you're free. It's that easy. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part thou shalt make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop. That's a vinegar. It's a abrasive agent. It's kind of like a cleaning agent, but they drank it. It's kind of like a turpentine, whatever. Hyssop. Hyssop is actually a weed, and it's kind of woolly. You can use it like a scrub brush, but they would dip it in a type of vinegar like a cheap wine. That's what they gave Christ to drink when he was on the cross, like a poor man's wine. It's very bitter and very vinegary, but they would use that also to clean with. Hyssop is the weed, not the drink. I kind of got those two stuck in my head together, but you get what I'm saying. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Stop it, Jake. Damn it, can't read. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. I think that's beautiful. Hide thy face from my sins, and blot out all mine iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. I pray that for each and every one of you, that your heart be made clean and your spirit renewed daily, if necessary. I pray for it. I pray that God touches every one of you, but that's between you and him. I can only hope. By the way, not for nothing, I pray that for me too. I'm just as wicked as everybody else is. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Listen, you want to know what hell is? In this book, hell is one of two things. It's either talking about a trash heap that's just outside of Jerusalem where they throw all their trash and it burns continually and the worms crawl in and out and it's really filthy and it stinks. That's called hell, Gehenna. Also referring to the grave where they put dead bodies and cover it with dirt. That's called hell. This idea of another dimension where a long handle wearing, pitchfork wielding red man lives, that all the bad souls go, that doesn't exist. That's not in this book anywhere. I've looked. I promise you, yes, they use that concept, but it's like a slang. It doesn't mean what they're saying. When God casts Satan into the lake of fire, which will appear at the end times, it isn't here yet. That's the end. But you want to know what hell is? Separation from God. No matter where you are in this universe, at what time you lived or died, the one thing you do not want is to be separated from God. You always want his presence in your life, because the separation from God is hell. It is the worst place you can find yourself. For him to remove the Holy Spirit from you, to raise the hedge of protection from around you, that is a place you don't want to be. Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. That's meritocracy. That's freedom, baby. Then I will teach transgressors thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. Kind of like what I'm doing. I don't know that I have any power over converting anybody, but I can teach you what you're not supposed to do. Or I can tell you anyway, whether you believe it or not, it's a different story. Deliver me from blood guiltiness. I guess that's what happens when you kill a man and it stains you for life. That blood guiltiness. I don't know if anybody but God can deliver you from that one, because anyone I've ever spoken to that's taken a life, even in war, they don't forget it very lightly. They have nightmares about it. They wake up seeing it in their eyes when they first wake up in the morning. They don't forget. And you can look in their eyes and see it. You can see when a man has killed another man on his face. There's something about him. There's something missing. It takes something from your soul when you take another's soul. I know this to be true. I guess that's what God is calling blood guiltiness here. Deliver me from blood guiltiness, O God, thou God of my salvation, and my tongue shall sing aloud of thy righteousness. O Lord, open thou my lips, and my mouth shall show forth thy praise. For thou desirest not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offerings. It's amazing that even back then when Psalms was written, back before Christ, that men knew God didn't care too much about sacrifice or burnt offerings, yet they still did it. Wonder why? The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart. O God, thou wilt not despise. Do good in thy good pleasure unto Zion. Build thou the walls of Jerusalem. Then shalt thou be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness, with burnt offerings and whole burnt offerings. Then shall they offer bullocks upon thine altar. I don't think you'll like it then either. Why boastest thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of God endureth continually. The tongue deviseth mischiefs, like a sharp razor working deceitfully to cut you in pieces. Yes, that tongue is a double-edged sword. It can speak blessings and it can speak curses just the same. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness, Selah. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. God shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place, and root thee out of the land of the living. Yes, there will come a time when people speak the truth. Unfortunately, it's not today. The righteous shall also see and fear, and shall laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that made not God his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, then strengthened himself in his wickedness. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the mercy of God forever and ever, like a child trusting a parent. I trust him forever, every word. Why? Because it's been proven to me to be true. That's why. I will praise thee forever, because thou hast done it. And I will wait on thy name, for it is good before thy saints. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. That's what a fool thinks. You want to be smart? You must have a higher power. That's what a real man does. He recognizes that there is something beyond himself, something greater in control, in power. That's the beginning place of wisdom. Only a fool would say there's no God. Now, belief is a little different. I know a lot of people who say I don't believe in God, but I know better because I've talked to them. I hear it in their heart. I know they know something. They just don't believe what they've been taught. And there is their mix-up right there. They don't believe the God that has been presented to them by the world. Guess what? I don't either. That's why I'm doing this, because I'm telling you they're wrong. They're not only wrong, in some cases, they're doing it on purpose. They're corrupting the word of God on purpose to deceive you and to guide you astray. And in some cases, they've done it. There must be somebody saying something that's true on this platform at some point. And I'm trying to do that. Because there is a God. Believe that. Look outside. Look around. Watch a baby be born. Look at the majesty of a tree. Look out there out into the universe and the vastness of it. There is no way any of this came by chance. No way on any earth, anywhere. God does exist. Not necessarily the one that's been presented in this world, but There is a God, and if you pay attention to the words he left as an inspired instruction manual for your life, you will notice quite quickly that you're not being taught what's in this book. You're not getting the lessons from this book in your Sunday school class. They switch things around, even the simplest things like Adam and Eve. They have everybody on earth believing that Eve ate an apple, and that's why God punished her. If Eve ate an apple, why did she cover her private parts with a fig leaf? Wouldn't she cover her mouth? I'm just saying. Think about it for a minute. If Eve ate an apple, why would enmity come between her seed and the seed of the man who gave her that seed, which was not Adam? What is enmity? Sin. Why would that happen if she ate an apple? What could an apple possess that would cause God to curse woman forever and man with her? Seems to me like something else was going on there. Did you learn about it in Sunday school or in any church? No, you didn't. That's why you don't understand the meaning of the word expatio, which means to be wholly seduced, which is what the serpent did in the Garden of Eden. He seduced Eve. Adam, on the other hand, knew full well what he was doing, but he did it anyway, which is why he got cursed right along beside her. She was tricked. He went into it knowing what he was doing. I will praise thee forever because thou hast done it, and I will wait on thy name, for it is good before thy saints. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. Corrupt are they, and have done abominable iniquity. There is none that doeth good, not one. God looketh down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand, that did seek God. Every one of them is gone back. They are altogether become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. That should terrify you. This is the way it was then. I think it's worse now. Then God destroyed the world for its iniquity. What do you think he's going to do now? Have the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread? They have not called upon God. There were they in great fear, where no fear was. For God hath scattered the bones of him that encampeth against thee. Thou hast put them to shame, because God hath despised them. Oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion. I wish it did. I wish that Zion could be the place where salvation came from, but it's not. When God bringeth back the captivity of his people, Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad. Save me, O God, by thy name, and judge me by thy strength. Hear my prayer, O God. Give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul. They have not set God before them, Selah. Behold, God is mine helper. The Lord is with them that uphold my soul. He shall reward evil unto mine enemies, and cut them off in thy truth. You want to know your truth? You want to speak your truth? God will cut you right off in your truth. You better learn the truth. I will freely sacrifice unto thee. I will praise thy name, O Lord, for it is good. For he hath delivered me out of all troubles. and mine eye hath seen his desire upon mine enemies. Give ear to my prayer, O God, and hide not thyself from my supplications. Attend unto me and hear me. I need a little pampering, God. Pay attention to me. Show me a little attention. I need it. I mourn in my complaint, and I make noise. I cry like a baby. I pound my fists on the ground. God, I'm in real pain here. Pay attention. I need you. Because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked, for they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. My heart is sore pained within me, and the terrors of death are fallen upon me. I've faced my own mortality. I'm terrified of the future. Fearfulness and trembling are come upon me, and horror hath overwhelmed me. And I said, Oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then I would fly away and be at rest. But you don't. It's a good song, don't get me wrong, but it ain't biblical. You know that song, I'll fly away, oh Lord, I'll fly away. God said, stay away from those that teach my children to fly to save their souls. It's not true. You can't do it. You can't save yourself. You can't buy salvation. You can't make it. You have to go to God for it. You cannot fly to save your soul. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. It's a good song, but it's not biblical. Lo, then would I wander far off and remain in the wilderness. Selah. Yeah, don't we all wish we could do that? Just walk away, wander in the wilderness for a while, be alone, be away from all the craziness. If I could fly, I'd certainly go there. However, you're in it, you're in the thick of it, you can't get away from it like that. I would hasten my escape from the windy storm and tempest. Destroy, O Lord, and divide their tongues, for I have seen violence and strife in the city. Haven't we all, brother? That seems to be everything that comes out of a city, isn't it? Violence and strife. All you protesters and black boot wearing, black clad, black mask wearing fools out there breaking windows and burning cars. You're from the city, aren't you? Day and night they go about it upon the walls thereof. Mischief also and sorrow are in the midst of it. Sound familiar? That's kind of what we're seeing right now. Wickedness is in the midst thereof. Deceit and guile depart not from her streets. Yep, that sounds right. Imagine that. Several thousand years ago, they wrote this down. We're seeing it today. Huh. For it was not an enemy that reproached me. Then I could have borne it. I could have defended myself if it were an enemy, but it came from within. I have some experience there. Can't fight something that you have to allow. You can't fight your own family. You can't fight your own friends. You can't fight the ones you love when they turn against you because you still love them. If only someone from outside would have attacked me, then I could have solved it. I could have fought it. I could have went to battle. I could have razed the earth to the ground to have my way. But I couldn't. I had to let it happen because it was your choice. You chose it. You asked for it. You brought it upon yourself. So I have to watch it in vain. Neither was it he that hated me, that did magnify himself against me. It was my loved ones that did it, not those who hate me. Then I would have hid myself from him. Yeah, me too. But what can you do but stand up like a man and reach for God, because he's the only one that can save you now. But it was thou, a man mine equal, my guide and my acquaintance, my family. That's who turned against me. That's who seek to destroy me. We took sweet counsel together and walked into the house of God in company. Let death seize upon them, and let them go down quick into hell, into the grave. For wickedness is in their dwellings and among them. As for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me. He has to. There's no other thing I can call on. When you're that deep, when you're in that much trouble, when the world is falling in on your soul, the only thing you can do is reach for God. That's all that's left. And he will be there. He'll give you a way out. It may not be like you like it. It may not be the result you want, but he'll make sure you survive. And I can verify that. Evening and morning and at noon I will pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. God, I hope he does. He hath delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me, for there were many with me. God shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old. Selah. Even those that are old and from a long time ago, he'll hear them too, because they have no changes. Therefore they fear not God. If you don't change and you don't fear God, then you're going to suffer the consequences. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. In other words, he'll talk a good game, but the minute you fall for it, he'll stab you in the back. That's Satan, by the way, in case you're not getting the metaphor. Cast thy burdens upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. But thou, O God, shalt bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. Be merciful unto me, O God, for man would swallow me up. He fighting daily oppresseth me. Listen, if you trust in God, if you follow God's word, the whole world is going to come against you, because the world don't want you to believe in God. If you don't think I'm telling you the truth, just try it. Just start saying it out loud when you go to town or when you talk to people. Just let them know that you believe in Jesus, and watch them turn against you. Watch them one by one. They'll all turn against you, because Satan will destroy everything around you, but he cannot touch one hair on your head. He won't hurt you. But that don't mean he can't cause you pain. He can take everything you love away from you. You get the most flack when you're over the target. Satan will be trying to get you if you are close to God. If you're not close to God, he won't bother you, because he's already got you. He don't need to bother you. But when you start building your relationship with God, that's when you're the most vulnerable, when you're just in the Word, when you're just getting close. That's when Satan will attack, and he'll destroy your family. He'll destroy your friends. He has no morals. He has no qualms. There's nothing off limits. He'll come for you, but he can't touch you. and you are the only person you are responsible for. So, as long as you're safe with God, all you can do is hope that the people around you are too. Because if they're not, they'll go down. Mark my words. Write it down that I said so. It's the truth. Mine enemies would daily swallow me up, but they be many that fight against me, O thou Most High. What time am I afraid? I will trust in thee. In God I will praise his word. In God I have put my trust. I will not fear what flesh can do unto me. Every day they wrest my words. All their thoughts are against me for evil. That's right, 420. You can't lose faith. You got to stay strong. They gather themselves together. They hide themselves. They mark my steps when they wait for my soul. They shall escape by iniquity. Or shall they escape by iniquity? In thine anger, cast down the people, O God. Protect me. You're my God. I'm your servant. Protect me. That's what you're supposed to do. Protect me. Well, guess what? He is protecting you. Just because you lose someone you love doesn't mean he's not protecting you. You didn't lose you, did you? No. He is protecting you, but he's not responsible for what decisions other people make. If they choose not to follow, then they get lost. Lot's wife betrayed him by turning and looking back. She didn't have faith. He did. God said, don't look back. He didn't look back, but she did. And he lost her right there on the spot. She turned to a pillar of salt right before his very eyes because she was weak. Now, I'm sure Lot felt like, God, why did you take my wife? That should be off limits. That's my love. That's what I depend on. How could you take my wife? He didn't take your wife. She did. The enemy came from within. She made a choice and suffered the consequences for it. That's how reality works. You can only make a choice for you. You can't protect those you love. They have to protect themselves. All you can do is make it certainly known to them that God is the way and they need to make that choice. You can stress it, but you can't make them make it. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Thou tellest my wanderings. Put thou my tears into thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? Yes, they are. Every heartbreak you've ever felt, God knows about it. He wrote it down. Every pain you've ever had, every loss you've ever taken, every win you've ever achieved, it's all written down in that book of life, good and bad. That's the book in which you will be judged by. And there's a record of everything you've ever done and felt. And God will judge you accordingly. American Justice Audits. Hey, darling. Welcome. Welcome to the show. When I cry unto thee, then shall mine enemies turn back. This I know, for God is for me. Yes, that's right. All you have to do is rebuke it in the name of Jesus, and it'll go away. I promise it will. But, again, it will only protect you. Other people have to make a choice for themselves. In God, I will praise his word. In the Lord, I will praise his word. He says it twice there for emphasis. In God, I have put my trust. I will not be afraid what man can do unto me. Fear not he that can damage your body. Fear him that can destroy your soul. That's the only one. God wants you to fear exactly one thing. God. Anything else you should not have any fear of. Thy vows are upon me, O God. I will render praises unto thee. For thou hast delivered my soul from death. Wilt not thou deliver my feet from failing or falling? That I may walk before the God in the light of the living. Be merciful unto me, O Lord. Be merciful unto me. For my soul trusteth in thee. Yea, in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge. There's that word again, Shabbat, or Sabbath, or rest, refuge, peace, under the wings of God, that refuge, until these calamities be overpast. Nothing lasts forever, friends. That's one thing I can tell you for sure. Though times get hard, though troubles come your way, they will not last forever. You can weather the storm as long as you don't break, as long as you stand strong. And the only way you can stand strong is to have faith in something. It's better to have faith in God because He's the one making everything happen. But you can have faith in yourself as long as you don't break. That's what I'm asking for. Don't break. Don't let it beat you down. Don't let it take your power from you. But you know how you can fix that? I will cry unto God most high, unto God that performeth all things for me. He shall send from heaven and save me from the reproach of him that would swallow me up, Selah. God shall send forth his mercy and his truth. And that's what you must look for. My soul is among lions. I have the strength of a lion in my spirit. And I lie even among them that are set on fire, even the sons of men whose teeth are spears and arrows, and their tongue a sharp sword. Be thou exalted, O God, above heaven. Let thy glory be above all the earth. They have prepared a net for my steps. My soul is bowed down. They have digged a pit before me, into the midst whereof they are fallen themselves. They dug their own graves trying to get me. My heart is fixed, O God. My heart is fixed. I will sing and give praise. That's where we're going to stop for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We will pick up tomorrow night on 57.8 and continue this fantastic book of Psalms. I hope that was valuable to you. I hope it was intense enough to shake you into reality and see what's most important in this world. I hope that it touched you in some way. I hope that you found Shabbat, rest in God's words. Won't you please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you get notifications of when I'm going to be here. Smash that like button, smash it hard, smash it like it owes you money. It's free, it's right in front of you, it takes no effort at all, and it helps the channel, so why not do it? Just hit that like button. Share this video with somebody you love. Hey, better yet, share it with somebody you don't love. Bring them into the family. Make them part of our fold. Be part of their solutions, not part of their problems. And leave a comment down below and let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform with me. Drink my Kool-Aid. Drink your own Kool-Aid as long as you're thinking. I want you thinking critically. That's all I ask for. And hey, if you love the Word of God, and if you see the value in what I'm trying to create here, and if you'd like to be part of something special, or if you feel led to send your tithes, offerings, or love offerings, or if you'd like to just pat me on the back and say, hey, nice job, Jake, won't you please take a moment and go to paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps. It's a win-win. It's a blessing to me. It's a blessing to you too, because God notices these things as we live in a reciprocal universe. I thank you for your support and your blessings, and I thank you for contributing to this thing I'm trying to build here. And with that, I will take your questions and comments and be all yours for the remainder of this video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, how did you feel about that? Did you like it? Did you learn anything? Did you trust me? Did you scare yourself? Did you feel tingly in the bottom parts of your soul? I hope so, because this book of Psalms is a collection of songs written by a guitar player, by the way, a shredder, a man after my own heart, like God said. He wrote a bunch of songs to signify his love and his understanding of the words and the meanings thereof. And he put them in a book called Psalms. And he left it for us to marvel over. And I hope that you did. Hey, American Justice Audits, I met you last night. How are you doing? And welcome to the show. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I know you just saw a short piece of it, but you can go back and watch the rest later. I don't mind. Cockles of your soul? That doesn't sound very nice. April says, that's right. Feed Jake. Oh. You asked for it. That's me. I got my own theme song. Pray the Lord my soul to keep. I've been a good doggy. Feed Jake. Kibbles and bits and kibbles and bits and kibbles and bits. You want to put a little kibble in my bowl? PayPal.me/Jake Johnson Band. I'm worth it. I promise. Jake. All right. There's enough of that. That's just for you, April. Did you enjoy the show last night over on Caucasian Sasquatch's channel? I had a good time. I hope you guys did too. We're going to have to do that again real soon. And I enjoyed meeting all your guests. Lots of thumbs up coming from American Justice. So you guys got any questions or comments about the read tonight? What'd you think? Did you learn anything? You have any aching questions that need answering? Or criticisms thereof? I'll take it. I'm a man. I can handle it. I like their hairs. Now, this Bible study thing we do on Sundays and Mondays. Sunday at 8, Monday at 8:30, and the rest of the time, Wednesday and Friday, we just hang out and chill, talk about whatever. Doesn't matter. Sometimes I'll do debunking videos, or sometimes I'll show something else, or something I've found on the internet, or whatever. But most of the time, we just talk. Jesus loves us all, amen. I have fun always watching you all making new friends. It's beautiful. Yes, it is. Did you have a hangover, Sasquatch? There's a burning question. Yes, sir, and I will be back. Well, please do come back anytime. You're more than welcome. I'd like to have you as part of the family, so come on in anytime you like. Take your shoes off, set a spell. I'll leave a light on for you. And one thing I can guarantee, you need a theme too, Jake? America! Yeah! I challenge you. American justice is a place to be where the thoughts are muddled but the words are free. American justice is the place to be. You want to get there while you can see. I'll write you something. I'll make you a theme song. That was just off the top of my head, but I'll come up with something. I ain't scared. I have no problem making a jackass of myself for your entertainment. That's what you asked for, Jake. What did I ask for? Not really. I was just thirsty. So thirsty. What did I ask for? That's what you asked for, Jake. I don't remember asking for anything. I'll take it, though, whatever it is. I just got lucky, American Justice, and somebody wrote a song called Feed Jake back in the 90s. And I got tired of people saying Jake the Snake or Jake from State Farm. So I said, I got one for you. I'll put Feed Jake up there. And it kind of fits. Feed Jake. I need the kibbles. When you say challenge me in the end, oh, yeah. Challenge me, curse me, bless me, confront me, conform with me, drink my Kool-Aid, drink your own Kool-Aid, as long as you're thinking. I did ask for it. You're right. And I will deliver, baby, because I'm that kind of man. I won't let you down. One thing, I was going to tell you this, American Justice, since you're new here. The one thing you can count on, the one thing you can guarantee yourself when you come to this show, I will not lie to you. I will not tell you falsities. Every word that proceeds out of my mouth I believe to be true, even when I'm wrong. And when somebody shows me that I'm wrong, I change my ways. That's got to be worth something. You know, friendship's hard to come by these days. The one thing I've found is the complete lack of accountability. I've never met very many people at all that I trust. And the reason is because they don't put any effort into being trustworthy. That seems to be a thing that this world has lost. I keep my word like a chat log. Me too. I won $30 on my lottery ticket. Congratulations, April. You go, girl. If I bought $30 worth of lottery tickets, I'd lose every one of them. I am not a winner when it comes to that kind of thing. I love you too. You are the light of my eye. Teflon, even when I'm naked. Haters, heartbreakers, ain't it. I hear you, brother. Yes, I have been let down by quite a few people in this world, simply because I expected of them to be honest with me, and they can't be. But that's one thing I guarantee, and I put my stamp of approval on it. Oh no, copyright claims at all? None? Well, that's interesting. I get hit every time I sing a song, even if it's mine. Well, congratulations. I'm glad you slipped by. Awe-inspiring, Jake. Well, thank you, dear. I'm shooting for just above, interesting. But if it was awe-inspiring, that's fantastic. Well, congratulations. I'm proud for you. Maybe I can get away with singing on your channel, because I can't get away with it on mine. They got my number. I'm baffled but pleased. Me too. You can leave the whole thing up and not mute any of it. Even the part where I showed my nipples. Also, I know that it doesn't happen very much. I'd like for it to happen more often, but it don't happen often. But if you have questions I will endeavor to answer them, regardless of the depth or meaning of them. I don't care how complicated the question is. If it's something that needs research, I will get on it. That's my job. So you don't have to. All you have to do is ask the question, and I will try to answer it. Chances are I already know an answer for it, but if I don't, I'll go find it. Doesn't matter what it's about either. That's great. I'm looking to be noticed, putting myself out there. Amen. Well, I'm looking to get you noticed. I'll try my very best to write you a theme song. I'll be thinking about it all night. And if you like it, you can keep it. You'll be fine. Do the thing. Smile at the camera. That's right. You did great, Jake, last night, Sasquatch. Your love has been proven. Wow. That's scary. See, I told you. You look to be noticed around here, somebody gonna see you. I didn't know it was in doubt, says Sasquatch. I never doubted you for a second, brother. I know you love me. I love you too. We just don't talk about it 'cause we're dudes. My guy. My dude. I got my man bun right here. Get my nails frosted and my tips highlighted. No doubts. I can see the love you have for everyone. Sexy. Oh, I have a challenge for myself. I'm coming after truth be told. Oh, no. That sounds like a challenge. I think the gauntlet has been laid. I save my one-man tear a year for when I shower. That's right, so nobody can see it fall. I think I choked up during the read tonight. Just a minute. I was talking about something that hit a little personal. But I didn't mean to. I choked it back like a man. I love all you do. It's great. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you very much. You mean the world to me. I wouldn't trade you for a whole bag of ponies. And I think you're awesome. I don't care what Caucasian said about you. I just set up my StreamYards, so that will be rolling soon. Well, let me know and send me a link, and I'll come support you best I can. I'm kind of busy. I don't get a lot of chance to watch other people, but I'll come by and check you out. That sounds gross and difficult. 420, you have a good time tonight, buddy? I know you came in a little late, but you were here. That's all that matters. Well, he loves me too. Well, I ain't trying to take him from you. I know he do. You must have took some ecstasy tonight. You're all about the love, baby. Does your hair feel sticky? Is your skin smiling? Yes, I did. I'm going to rewatch from the beginning. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the confidence. It's a good read. I don't think you'll be disappointed. A lot of good message in what we read tonight. A lot of good information. I did ecstasy once. It just gave me a headache. I mean, I was high, but I just felt like my head was going to explode. I couldn't enjoy it. But it didn't help that my buddy, I don't know what the name of the show is, but he brought over a VHS tape and put it in my VCR, and we watched it for like 6 hours. It was a Adult Swim show. There's a milkshake, a meatball, and a thing of French fries that talk. And it's the dumbest shit you've ever seen. And I just was confused through the whole thing. I'm like, why are we watching this? It's retarded. Didn't make any sense at all, but he just had it on for like 6 hours and my head's pounding and I'm trying not to be annoyed and be nice to my guest and let him watch what he wants to watch, you know? It was horrible. I did not have a good time. Much love, Jake, April, and Sasquatch, and everyone that is here. Well, much love to you, 420. I hope you feel great today, and I hope you have a wonderful afternoon despite the weather. I love every one of you like a brother and sister, says Sasquatch. Creepy. I got dosed with Molly by a chubby Waffle House waitress. Man, I can't never get a good waitress. I was gonna eat a waffle, but then I got high. Gonna eat my patty milk, but then I got high. I was gonna order hash browns, and I know why. Hey, hey, but I got high, but I got high, but I got high. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Huh? This is the lovingest podcast on the face of the earth, I can tell you that right now. Lots of love in this room. We screwed while eating brownies. Very strange. That is strange and more information than I wanted. But thank you. All right, kids. It's 8 minutes after the hour. I do have to work in the morning, so I'm going to get on, skedaddle out of here. Listen, take a moment tomorrow, just 1 minute, and be kind to somebody. Doesn't matter who, doesn't matter where, doesn't matter what. Just show some kindness. Put it out in the world. Put forth some love and watch it change your life. Watch it as it turns everybody's smile in your direction. Everybody's favor will pour out towards you just by showing a little kindness. It doesn't take much. The Beatles got one thing right in their entire exploits. All you need is love. And that's true. Believe that. Build your life around it. Watch it make you into the person you want to be. And if you do that, remember that I told you. And I'll see you guys on Monday. I love each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. I love you true. And with that, thanks for watching. Peace out.